Harry, did you put enough sugar in? This lemonade tastes very tart. Did you put enough sugar in? This word tart is simply another way to talk about something that's sour. You probably learned the word sour when you were first learning basic vocabulary, but the word tart is another great word to talk about tastes, something that tastes sour. All right, let's see how this was used when I spontaneously used the word tart to talk about something in my morning routine. Let's watch. This has been one of my family's favorite jams recently, wild blueberry jam. Oh, it's so good. It's a little bit tart and sweet at the same time. Beginner vocabulary question number 2. My son got an A+ on his math test, so I decided to get him a from the ice cream shop. My son got an A+ on his math test, so I decided to get him a treat from the ice cream shop. This word, a treat, means something that you enjoy for a special occasion. In this case, it's a tasty treat, probably a cone with some ice cream. All right, let's watch how I use this in the original context. And we're gonna make some scrambled eggs this morning. This is something that I make quite often. Usually I'm making it for 5 people, not just me, so this is a treat. I'm only going to crack 2 eggs today. Beginner vocabulary question number 3. I don't usually eat a huge breakfast, so I just a piece of bread to have with my morning coffee. This is 3 for 3, 3 words that start with T, number 1, number 2, and number 3. All right, you have 5 seconds. I don't usually have a huge breakfast, so I just toast a piece of bread to have with my morning coffee. Here I'm talking about the verb to toast a piece of bread. But what do we call that piece of bread after it has been browned and warmed up? We can use the noun version and say, I'm eating a piece of toast. This is some toast, so it can be a verb or a noun. I hope you're doing well on this quiz so far. Let's watch how I use this in the original conversation. This bread is really big. I don't think I need that whole thing this morning, so I'm just gonna break it in half, put it in the toaster, and wait for it to toast. And our final beginner vocabulary question, number 4, is this. Be careful when you put the glasses in the cupboard. I don't want them to... Be careful when you put the glasses in the cupboard. I don't want them to crack. And this simply means that it has a break in it. If a glass cracks, well, it's not very safe to use anymore. You could get cut. So please be careful with the glasses. All right, let's see how this was used in the original conversation. All right, let's crack the eggs into the pan. I'm going to use my spatula a bit to get everything, the oil kind of evenly on the bottom of the pan. So how did you do on the beginner section of this vocabulary quiz? If this was challenging for you and you enjoy this style of learning, I would like to invite you to download the free PDF worksheet that goes with today's lesson. This is a big one. It is 12 pages long. It includes the test that you're taking right now, plus all of the vocabulary and sample sentences so that you can get multiple ideas about how to use this in the real world. And I have included in this a special exercise, a vocabulary exercise where you will fill in the story with the correct words that you're learning from this lesson. Plus, I have one more bonus, which is a downloadable speaking practice. It is essential for you to use what you have learned in today's lesson. It's great to take the quiz, enjoy this video, but you need to use it right away. So I challenge you to download this free PDF worksheet work on the exercises and also download the speaking practice. You can use this wherever you are, whether you're doing the dishes, walking your dog, on the train. I want you to be able to actually remember what you're learning today. So how can you get this worksheet? All you need to do is click on the link in the description, enter your name and email address, and voila, just like that, it will land in your email inbox. This is my gift to you. All right, are you ready to go on to the intermediate questions? You can do it. Intermediate vocabulary question number 1. Oh, I'm so sorry that I dropped ketchup on your shirt, but if you wash it with soap, it will... This is a 3-part phrase. Think of all of these words that might go together. If you wash it with soap, it will come right off. We have here the base phrasal verb, to come off, but this is a fixed phrase that we often use to talk about taking stains out of clothes or off of the floor or any kind of surface. If you wash it with soap, it will come right off. We're talking about it easily getting out of that surface or out of that material. It will come right off if you use some soap. All right, let's see how I use this in the original context.
Mine has eggs all stuck to the bottom, but what I'm going to do is I'll pour some water in here and soak it, and the eggs will just come right off.
Intermediate question number 2. On hot summer days, we like to eat ice cream to help us. This is another phrasal verb. You can do it. On hot summer days, we like to eat ice cream to help us cool down. The thing that I like about this phrasal verb is you can use it in 2 different ways that are connected. In this sentence, you're seeing how I'm using it in a physical way. It helps my body temperature to become a little bit lower on those hot summer days. It helps me to cool down physically. But you can also use this to talk about your emotions. Let's say you are angry, you're fuming. Well, maybe your body is actually hot, but also your temper is hot. Well, you probably need to do something to help you cool down. Maybe that's go outside, go for a walk, count to 10. Oh, I need to cool down. That is your temper that needs to cool down as well. So this is a fun 2-use phrasal verb. All right, let's see how I used it in the original context.
I'll pour some water in here and soak it, and the eggs will just come right off. I'll do that later once it cools down a bit.
Intermediate vocabulary question number 3 is this. Before you put the cake in the oven, you absolutely need to... the oven. Before you put the cake in the oven, you absolutely need to preheat the oven. This is a very specific word, but it is essential to know these types of specific words to have an intermediate vocabulary level, to be able to talk about your daily life. Of course, before you bake something, you need to turn on the oven and get it to the right temperature. We don't need to use all of those words, turn it on, get it to the right temperature. You just need this great vocabulary word. You need to preheat the oven. Love it. All right, let's see how this was used.
I have turned on the oven already so that my pan can preheat. It has to get warm before I put the eggs on, or else the eggs are gonna stick. Nobody likes that.
Our final intermediate vocabulary question. I just made these cookies and they are... These are 2 words that are often together. I imagine you know the second word, but can you figure out what that first word is that often goes with that second word? I just made these cookies and they are piping hot. When you take cookies out of the oven, they are not just normal hot. They are really hot. You could say really hot, okay, but you could be extra great and say they are piping hot. This is a word that we use in daily conversation to talk about something that's simply really hot. Now, just as a little note, I would not use this to talk about the weather. If it's a really hot day, I wouldn't walk outside and say, "Oh, it is piping hot out here." No, I would only really use this to talk about physical things that are really hot, things that come out of the oven, for example. Okay, let's see how this was used in the original conversation, and then we're going to go on to our advanced vocabulary. Let's see if you can do it.
All right, this is piping hot right now. I cannot drink it. I'm going to need for it to cool down a bit.
Before we go on to our advanced questions, I want to let you know that if you are enjoying today's vocabulary lesson, you can learn real-life vocabulary and conversation skills with me every month in the Fearless Fluency Club. And right now, we are running a special discount on our lifetime membership. This means that you purchase the course once and you never need to pay for English lessons again. You are a permanent member and one of my permanent students. We will learn real life vocabulary together. We will study real conversations together, and you will have the chance to join me every single week for a live streamed lesson and in Zoom calls to speak together with other motivated students in the course. My student Nadine said something wonderful. She said, "I'm headed to Morocco next month, all thanks to Vanessa in the Fearless Fluency Club." I never imagined that I'd be confident enough to do an interview in English, but because of her amazing lessons, I got accepted for a volunteer program. My confidence has skyrocketed and I wasn't shy at all. Well, congratulations, Nadine. I think that this also could happen to you. I want you to have this confidence that skyrockets and these new opportunities that are available in the world once you have a confident level of English. So how can you join me in the Fearless Fluency Club lifetime membership? All you need to do is click on the link in the description, and if you click that link right now, very soon, you can get a huge discount on our lifetime membership. But if you wait too long, this discount is going to be closed. So do it now and you can have amazing English and save a lot of money. It's a win-win. Okay, let's go on to our advanced level of English questions. Advanced vocabulary question number 1. Once my children go to bed, I can finally get some so that I can read my book. Once my children go to bed, I can finally get some peace and quiet so that I can read my book. If you are a parent, you know that wonderful feeling when the house is finally quiet. What happens? You can get some peace and quiet. Yes, this is a repetitive phrase. Peace and quiet are often the same thing, right? But we use this fixed phrase to really emphasize, there's no more stress, no more noise. I can have some peace and quiet. All right, let's see how I use that in the original context.
I will take my tea, take my breakfast, and go sit at the table, eat this in some peace and quiet.
Advanced vocabulary question number 2. This latte would taste a lot better with a cinnamon on top. Think about this word for 5 seconds. This latte would taste a lot better with a dash of cinnamon on top. This phrase, a dash of, simply means a little bit of. But if you want to have advanced English, you really need to know those specific phrases that we use in various situations. And here, when we're talking about a powder, adding a little bit of something, just a dash of cinnamon on top of the latte, this is the specific phrase that we would use, and I used in the conversation to talk about adding a little bit of cinnamon on top. All right, let's watch how that was used in the original context.
And I will stir it a bit. I might put a little dash of milk in, a little bit more.
Advanced vocabulary question number 3. These picture frames would add to my bedroom walls. These picture frames would add the perfect touch to my bedroom walls. We could say they would look nice on my bedroom walls, but man, this is too basic, right? When we're talking about the feeling of this is the perfect fit, this would go so well together, we use this fixed phrase. That would be the perfect touch on my bedroom walls. It is exactly what my bedroom needs to feel so relaxing so that I can go to sleep and enjoy how my bedroom looks. It is the perfect touch. You might also use this to talk about the free PDFs that I make for each of my YouTube lessons. You could say the free PDF is the perfect touch to Vanessa's English lessons. Of course, the video is helpful. All of this is useful, but the PDF really is the perfect touch. It absolutely is what helps me to level up my English. I hope so. Don't forget you can get this with the link in the description. All right, let's see how I use this in the original context.
And sometimes he puts just butter on the toast. And I think, why wouldn't you put jam? So usually I put jam on it too, because jam is the perfect touch for eggs, I think. Don't put it on the eggs, put it on your toast.
For our final advanced vocabulary question, I have given you a little hint. There are quite a few words in this phrase, so I gave you the first few words. I want to see if you can guess the last ones, and within the next 30 seconds, you're going to know how to use it yourself. All right, let's see what it is. I can't take you out for your birthday tonight, but I'm going to treat you to a big birthday dinner on Saturday. The first few words of this phrase are let me. What are the final three words? I can't take you out for your birthday tonight, but let me tell you what, I'm going to treat you to a big birthday dinner on Saturday. This happened recently. My husband's birthday was on a Wednesday, and in the middle of a week, it's really hard to get out and do something special, but we can do that on the weekend. So on his birthday, I said, sorry, I can't take you out tonight. It's Wednesday. There's a lot going on, but let me tell you what, on Saturday, we're going to go have a big birthday dinner. So just wait. It's going to be great. We often use this phrase, let me tell you what, when we're sharing some kind of information that we want the other person to pay attention to. Let me tell you what, this PDF worksheet is going to blow your mind. It's going to change your life. So we can use this when we want someone to pay attention. Let's see how I used this in the original conversation for our final phrase. Let's watch.
I put different types of maybe ham or turkey or spinach, sometimes broccoli, cheese, and then folded it over and ate that. Man, let me tell you what, that is the breakfast of champions, as they say. I had great energy.
So how did you do? Let me know in the comments what your score was. What level of English vocabulary do you have? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced?